So this is, well, welcome to the shortwave channel. This is weather from Nova Scotia, Canada, 2749 upper sideband. So, of course, the loops work great on lower frequencies. Once again, this is the Grundig G5 plugged into the Chinese MLA 30 loop. I mean, with a telescoping antenna, I barely hear it. I hear something in the noise, but barely. So it's nice to see how well it receives with this. I think we should check out, let's check out 160 meter band. I think we're going to be quite interesting here. This was some Morse code here. Usually there are some people on the check out, try to come back here. There's some AMers around here, so I'm wondering if that was not an AMer. It's not very strong, sounds like French. Anything else? There's something there.
Some things should fly up in the air there, you know. And boy, they really come out nice. Drones? Yeah, drones, yeah. Yeah, those are cool. That's what he gave me when I only play with.
It's interesting because using, you know, the telescopic, you hear stuff, and in low noise, sometimes in the bedroom, I might hear a little bit of 160 meters, but not a lot. But it really shows here that the loop makes 160 meters better. You really got to get used to this receiver does not have separate upper lower sideband. Somebody asked me, you know, is it that difficult to tune when you don't have the separate ones? Well, you know what? Here was an example. I kind of lost the touch a little bit because I don't do it very often. I'm used to, you know, like the XH data here that has these separate upper lower sidebands. And it does actually make it easier to tune signals in single sideband when you have a separate upper and lower switch. Here it's a BFO wheel, so it's right here, the BFO, the fine-tuning. And as you see, I need to clean the right side of the radio with rubbing alcohol. It gives you an idea of the difference of what the radio looked like before and after. So it's kind of nice, but shows that, you know, decent reception on this is a gang that is often here every night on 1850 lower sideband. Let's go back up to 2749. And let's see if we can hear anything else up to 3 megahertz. .016, I believe, is an aeronautical.
My joy may be in you.
Let's go back to 215. CH2 time signal. Oh, you do hear Shannon vomit. It does make interesting listening to lower frequencies with the loop also. One of the problems that I would say with a lot of portable radios, and I've not seen a lot of portable radios deal well with this. On a more, so sometimes people ask me, one of the advantages of having a higher end radio, like a tabletop radio. Well, one of them is the AGC, or the automatic gain control. On a portable receiver, you typically have no control over the AGC. It's set at a fixed value most of the time. And in this case, it would be nice to have a switchable AGC, because on single sideband signals, one of the biggest problems is you have voice, which gives you, of course, a strong signal, and when the voice stops in between words, for example, it drops to zero signal. It's not like an AM signal. An AM signal always has a carrier in the background, and that carrier maintains a certain level in the receiver. And here there's no carrier, so in single sideband the only signal is when there's voice transmissions. So what happens is the voice is there, we hear something, the voice stops talking for a second, radio goes back to zero state with no signal. And with an AGC that is not set right, it makes it a little harsh to listen to a single sideband, and it happens here. Here you notice that it's harsher and more difficult because of all the noise in between the high moment of having a voice and the down moment when there's no voice. So it creates kind of a rough edge, I would say, to the single sideband listening. And this is probably what I would say is the biggest downturn of most portable receivers, is that since there's no setting for the AGC, fast, slow, medium, it makes it a little more difficult on some signals sometimes. Not all portables are equal. Some are better than others at coping with this, but it is definitely one of the reasons why I would say I'm happy to have something a little more powerful. And I mean, you don't have to pay a lot. The RSP1A from SDR Play, for example, if you don't mind using a computer, is barely more expensive than an XH Data. And it does have all the bells and whistles, but of course they are done by the computer. To have a radio with AGC, I don't remember any portable receivers that have an AGC switch. Most of the receivers with an AGC switch for fast or slow are higher end portables that are several $100s, and of course tabletops that are much more expensive. So if there would be an edge, I would say, to using a an higher end radio to portable like this, it shows mostly on a single sideband, where the audio isn't always the best on single sideband. But you know, it works and it does the job. I mean, you're listening into signals and you can still listen in. It's just a little harder on the ears, I would guess. So hope you enjoyed these tuning around, of course, with the MLA 30. I'm making videos with the Grundig G5 because a lot of you like to see this one. But don't worry, guys. I'll be making videos with the others. You guys are going to see an all-around, you know, loop versus radio. And I'll give my verdict on each receiver and the loop, what I think, and how they cope with it. So I hope you enjoy the videos. If you do, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thanks for watching.